The New York Knicks lost to the Los Angeles Lakers 113-105. They snapped their 9-game win streak, and it was ugly in the fourth quarter for the Knicks. We're going to break down that game coming up. But first, I just wanted to hop on here and talk about all the rumors that are surrounding LeBron James and a potential trade to the New York Knicks. We're going to break that one down, but first, make sure you're subscribed to the channel. We'll put out free, informative, entertaining content every single day. We're going to be live all day for the trade deadline. We go live for every single Knicks games. So subscribe and turn your notifications on. What's going on, everybody? You're watching Knicks Now by Chat Sports. I'm your host, Marshall Green. Let's dive into it. LeBron James trade rumors to the New York Knicks are heating up. It first started when Stephen A. Smith hopped on ESPN's First Take show following the Knicks' 8th win in a row over the Indiana Pacers, and he talked about the idea of the New York Knicks trading for LeBron James. And following that kind of thing that went viral with LeBron and the Knicks and Stephen A. Smith, according to Stephen Bondy, with the Lakers in town, there was a meeting between Leon Rose and CAA and Rich Paul and Clutch Sports. As we know, there have been some reports that Rich Paul has not wanted Clutch clients to go play with the Knicks. He's talked about Zach LaVine. He's talked about DeJounte Murray. And there's been a couple of other guys as well. But according to Bondy, Knicks Clutch Sports hashed out issues after Leon Rose and Rich Paul sit down, removing potential trade obstacles. And when that happened, people were like, okay, Stephen A. Smith was talking about it. And now Rich Paul and Leon Rose sat down and talked about it. And then Stephen A. Smith later that day went on his YouTube show and said, I heard LeBron wants to play for LA or for the New York Knicks. And ever since these three things have happened, I have got over 100 messages about, Marshall, are the Knicks trading for LeBron James? It's not happening. It's not going to happen. The Knicks are not going to trade for LeBron James. But for the sake of conversation, for the sake of the rumor, let's do it. Look, LeBron is still one of the best basketball players in the NBA. We saw on Saturday night against the Knicks that he can easily still take over a basketball game. He got to his spots in the fourth. He led the offense. He created good, open, quality shots, and he still hit tough buckets when it need to. I mean, the guy's still averaging 25, 7, and 7 on 52% from the field and 39% from deep. And let's call a spade. What you think about LeBron, how you feel about him, we can all agree. Jalen Brunson and LeBron James duo would be elite. I think it would be the best duo in the NBA. I still think LeBron is a top 10 player in this league. Outside of Nikola Jokic, I don't think there's another player I would want on my team for a playoff series outside of LeBron. And having a guy next to Jalen Brunson like LeBron James, yeah, you'd be pretty damn good at basketball. Question is, what would the cost be? What would it cost for the Los Angeles Lakers to punt on the LeBron James era and trade him to the New York Knicks? Well, I think this would be something close, and I don't even know. Look, I don't think it would happen, but we're going to play along. I think it would cost you Evan Fournier for the salary. I think they would want Quentin Grimes as a young piece, and I think they would look for Julius Randle back, your best player that could be traded. Knicks are not trading Jalen Brunson, and I believe at minimum it would cost you 4 first-round picks. Let's say it's the 3 protected picks. Let's say it's the Mavericks pick, the Bucks pick, and the Pistons pick, and you give your unprotected pick for this year. I want to hear from you. If you were Leon Rose and Rob Pelinka and the Los Angeles Lakers called you up and said, hey, LeBron let us know he doesn't want to be here anymore. He wants to play for the Knicks. Would you do this trade? Fournier, Grimes, Randle, 3 protected first-round picks, and 1 protected first-round pick. Would you make this trade? Type A for accept, type D for decline. For me, I'm declining this trade, and there's so many reasons as to why I would not do this trade. And I think the first one would just be that LeBron James is 39 years old. And at some point, Father Time has to come knocking on LeBron James. On top of the fact that he's 39, trading for LeBron, in my opinion, would drastically shrink the New York Knicks window of opportunity to win an NBA Finals. I think with a duo of LeBron and Julius Randle and Jalen Brunson, or whoever Julius Randle becomes, if there is a trade alongside DiVincenzo and all the young players the Knicks have, the Knicks can be a top of the Eastern Conference contender for what? The next 6, 7, 8 years. But there's no doubt if the New York Knicks were to trade for LeBron James, they would be better right now. And they would have a better opportunity and a better chance to win an NBA championship because LeBron James is still a better basketball player than Julius Randle at this point. Question is, though, do you want to be winners for 1 to 2 years, which isn't even guaranteed, or be contenders for the next 7 years? And I think I would rather the Knicks be contenders for the next 7 years. On top of that, trading for a guy like LeBron James, what would that do to this locker room? This locker room has kind of been reported on as one of the tighter locker rooms in the NBA. Obviously, you got Brunson, you got his Villanova teammates, and Archie Diacono, and Dante DiVincenzo, and Josh Hart. You got his dad on the bench. You got Tom Thibodeau. It's a family atmosphere. And you bring in LeBron James, and this team changes from Jalen Brunson's team to LeBron James's team. And LeBron can come in and say all the right things. LeBron can come in and say, this is Brunson's team. I'm not taking over. I'm not doing that. But that's what would happen. LeBron James, wherever he goes, is the face. He's the voice. And he is the organization. And I don't want LeBron James to come to the Knicks at this point in time and reap the benefits of the hard work of guys like Randle and Brunson have put in. They've set the foundation. They have a great opportunity to be an elite team in this league for a long time. LeBron shouldn't be able to reap those benefits, especially the way that he's done the Knicks throughout his career. I have more thoughts coming up on this in a second, but first check out our proud sponsor, PrizePicks. Go to prizepicks.com/CLNS and use that promo code CLNS, and PrizePicks will match your first deposit up to $100. PrizePicks is the #1 daily fantasy sports app in North America. And if you use the promo code CLNS, they'll match your first deposit up to $100. It's daily fantasy sports made easy. All you do is create a lineup of 2 to 6 players, and you simply choose more or less on the projected stats. Get your lineups in for the Super Bowl, which is a week away. It'll make the game a whole lot more fun. PrizePicks.com/CLNS, promo code CLNS. I just think it would be an absolute slap in the face to Jalen Brunson to trade for LeBron James at this point. I also think it would kind of send a bad message through the league. Like, you went and acquired Julius Randle. He's been here through all the ups and downs, and him being a driving force in those ups, and you're just going to ship him off willy-nilly for a 39-year-old LeBron James who may not even be in the NBA in the next 2 years. Look, he's a great player. And your team does get better right now and probably next year if you trade for LeBron James. And he's done the impossible, and he's beat Father Time up to this point. But that dude's undefeated. And sooner rather than later, I don't think it's anything crazy to say LeBron is going to fall off at some point. But right now, he's really good. And if you trade for LeBron James right now and it's for the package that we talked about, you would be the best team in the NBA. And do you go all in on this window? I don't know. Let's close today's show just talking about the game. Look, Jalen Brunson was awesome for 3 quarters. But in the fourth quarter, the Lakers came out and said, we're not going to let you beat us. We're not going to let you beat us. We're going to double you every single time you cross half court. And look, I'm not asking Jalen Brunson to go out and beat double teams, but he had 2 costly turnovers that hurt the Knicks in the fourth quarter. And he didn't shoot the ball well from distance again. That's 2 nights in a row. I believe he was 1 of 6 from downtown. The Knicks need him to start hitting some shots. But they also need someone else to step up on this offense. You cannot ask Jalen Brunson to be a superstar and Captain Superman, Captain America every single night. I mean, in the fourth quarter, the Knicks went 7.5 minutes without scoring a basket. Before crunch time or before garbage time started, and there was 2 minutes left, the Knicks scored 10 points in 10 minutes. It was Austin Reeves and Taurean Prince dominated the Knicks in the fourth quarter. Taurean Prince and Austin Reeves had, I think, 18 combined points in the fourth quarter. And they were the two that were double-teaming Jalen Brunson at the point of attack. DiVincenzo's great. He's not a creator necessarily for others. And I'm not like worried about this loss. You were without Randle, you were without OG, but like, I think it kind of like showed us that this team could use another guard that can create off the bounce for themselves and for others. I don't think it has to be to the degree of DeJounte Murray, but having a guy like Malcolm Brogdon that can come in for 6 minutes in that fourth quarter. Josh Hart sits for 2 minutes because Josh Hart is killing you on offense right now. Malcolm Brogdon can run the offense through himself while Jalen Brunson is being double teamed and can stand in the corner. Like 31% from the field, 15 of 6 for Josh Hart. I appreciate the energy. I appreciate the effort. I appreciate the intensity and all the winning plays he made throughout the night. But when you have Precious Achiuwa, Isaiah Hartenstein, and Josh Hart on the floor alongside Jalen Brunson and DiVincenzo, you're asking them to do the impossible. And look, the Lakers are a good team. I know they're 26-25, but Anthony Davis changes the game with his just presence in the paint. Brunson was hesitant. Isaiah Hartenstein, I thought, had his worst game of the season. Precious Achiuwa was not good. Everything was a double pump fake at the line, at the rim. Like, Hartenstein goes 2 of 9, and I think he missed like 4 point-blank putbacks. 5 of 20 between Achiuwa and Hartenstein, and then you were what? 5 of 16 from Josh Hart? So you were 14, 15 of 37, 30, like, you weren't supposed to win tonight. Like, right? You weren't supposed to. It stinks. I don't like this feeling. We didn't have it for a long, long time. But I think it's probably a good loss. I think, like, you don't want to go into this trade deadline and not addressing a need because you've just won 10 in a row. And the greatness of Jalen Brunson has kind of put the makeup on the scars of this team, which are still another creator on the offensive end. Like, as good as Jalen Brunson is, I think he's one of the best point guards in the league, and he's had the best season of a point guard in this league. Lakers kind of put a little teach tape out there for every team in the Eastern Conference that's going to be guarding him in the playoffs. It'd be nice if you could, Brunson's, because they were picking him up at midcourt. Like, they were doubling him at midcourt. It's nice if Brunson could be doubled, drop off a little bounce pass to a guard who's then playing 4-on-3, and he's a threat to score. He's a threat to create. He's a threat to do something. Like, it would be nice to have that. You need Josh Hart to do that. I don't know if he's offensively skilled enough to do that. Not worried about the loss, but I think it may have shown you that as great as they've been, winning 15 out of their last 18, you probably just still need somebody else that can carry your offense at times, because Jalen Brunson played, 44 minutes tonight? I think all the starters played over 38 minutes. It's February 3rd. You need a little more depth. You need a little bit more depth. Maybe not in the playoffs because you only play 7 or 8. But, like, even then, Josh Hart in the closing lineup, we know how good it could be. Like, tonight shows you how bad it can be. And maybe it's unfair to judge that sample size because he was also with Achiuwa. It's one loss. Is what it is. Learn from it, get better, and keep it moving. As always, just want to say thank you and appreciate you for tuning in. If you haven't yet, hit that thumbs up icon, subscribe to the channel, and let's go Knicks.